All right, welcome back to Coding with Nathan. Today we're going to build a fun quiz game with the score tracking in Python using TK interface. This is our next project in our beginner series, and it's a great one because it combines logic, user interaction, and keeping track of data, all while making something entertaining. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete multi-choice quiz game that keeps score and shows your final results. If you've been following along with the number guessing games and the password generator, this will be a perfect next step. So let's jump in. What you see is our finished game. This is what we're going to build. The game shows a question with 4 multiple choice answers. You pick an answer, you get instant feedback, and your score updates. At the end, you see the final score with a message. It's clean, interactive, and fun to play. All right, let's get coding. All right, so what we're making is a set of multiple choice questions, score tracking throughout the game, instant feedback, correct versus incorrect, a final results screen, and the option to restart the quiz. This project will help you get started working with lists, functions, and managing game state. All right, so we're ready to get started coding here, and we're going to start with the beginnings of our file already done to save time and typing, because these we have done before. So you need to create a new file. We called ours quiz_game.py. You can call it what you want. First thing you need to import is TK interface as TK. And then we do a more specific import for our message box, so we don't even have to put the TK in front of it, and that is from Tkinter import message box. The other import that we need is random, because we're going to use random numbers to randomly select the order of the question so that it's different every time. All right, so then we have our class laid out here. We're calling it quiz game. We have our initialization function here where we start up the TK interface, give our window a title, set its size, set its background color, make it not resizable, and then we set up our data where we get our questions. We set the current question and the score to 0. We set our answer to none. And we create the widgets and load the questions. All right, then we go to our questions, which we are going to do in a function called getQuestions. And what we are doing is just returning an array. Our questions all consist of a question, 4 options, and the correct answer. That's what we do for each of these questions. So you can put in your own questions, add more questions, that type of thing. We are then going to set up our window using TK interface. We do that in create_widgets. Set up a title as a label. Pack the title. That just gives it some spacing. Then we set up a counter as a label. We set up our question as a label. We then put a frame around our buttons. These are going to be our answers. And we create 4 buttons. We do a for loop to create them, so we don't have to do them each individual. So they're all done the same, we do for I in a range of 4. This just goes from 1 to 4, so we will have 4 buttons. We then put our score display in a label. We put our next button below that. And our next button, we hide it to begin with so that you cannot just skip the question. You must answer. Then this is our run, call that. And at the bottom here, we initialize the main so that it calls our class and runs it. And now we are ready to put in the functions that actually do the work. Okay, the first function that we need is going to be load the questions. All right, what we're going to do there. Don't want to go beyond the length. We don't want to load in more than the number of questions that we have. So when we are out of questions, we're going to show the results and return. If we are not out of questions, set the question. All right. What's the current question? Update the question counter. Okay. Because the counter starts at 0, we're going to always want it to start at 1. And there we go. All right. Then we're going to update question text. So self.question label big text equals question. And we're going to use the field question. All right. Takes care of that. And we're going to shuffle options. Shuffle the answers. Random shuffle options. All right. Okay, we'll skip the step. Declare options. Question. Options. All right. All right, then we can randomize them. Okay, makes more sense. We're going to update our buttons. So for I button and enumerate self.answer buttons. Just for every button in this set of buttons, we're going to configure it with button.config text equals options I don't help state equals normal background equals accent color. All right, then button dot option text equals options I. This is where we're gonna store what the option is. So that we can compare it to the answer to see if you chose the right one. All right, self.select answer equals none. Next button.pack. All right. So what we do is we set the answer back to none. And we hide the next button. That is it. All right, after that, next function we need is what happens when you select an answer. Right? So what this is gonna do is it's gonna come back with the index of the button that you pressed. All right. Current selected answer needs to be none. Select answer. Then we set it to the index. Question. Questions. Current question. buttons, text, option, text. Let's get what you selected as the answer. Then we disable all the buttons because you've already selected your answer. Set them all to disabled so you can't select them again. All right. And then we are going to tell you what the correct answer was and what the wrong answers were. Go through our list of buttons again. The option text equals question answer. All right. So if you have the correct one, we're going to set our button big background equals correct color. All right. And then else if button option text equals selected text option button config background equals wrong color. All right. So we set it to the correct color. Or the wrong color. Date or if correct. All right, then we need to update your score. So if your selected text equals the question answer, that's score, increment it by 1. And score label big text f score score. All right. Then we have to enable the next button. All right. So we show the next button. All right. That is that. The next function we need is to get the next question. So we increment the question. And we load question into the buttons. All right, pretty simple. Then, after you win or lose, after you're done answering questions, we need to show the results. All right. All right, so going through the Windows children. And we hide them all. Pack, get. All right, not 0. All right, we're going to salt frame, decode frame, self.root, equals color. TK, you're going to have to spell it correctly or it will not like it. Salt frame, pack, and equals true. All right. TK label. Salt frame. Equals is complete. Font equals Arial. Get pretty big. Make it bold. Background is the same color as the background. Foreground. It's going to equal the title. Show that. Okay. And we're going to calculate the percentage correct. Percentage equals self score by the length questions. Times that by 100. And we will put that in the label. Frame text equals F your score self.score. Of questions, number of questions. Okay, that is not right. This should go there and down here. Just want font equal equals accent color. And then we are going to show this pack y equals 10. All right. Got another label. Text equals percentage. Formatting here. Percent. Also, I have to put in a font here. Equals area. This bold also. Background equals background color equals color. Show this. Okay. And we'll add in some if percentage greater than equal to 80. Message equals excellent work. If percentage then equal to 60, percentage equals good job. All right. Else message equals keep practicing. All right. We're almost done with our final screen here. TJ. Another label. Underscore frame. Text equals message. Font equals Arial. Background equals background color equals title color. Okay. Print that out. Then add a restart button. X equals again. Font equals 14 bold equals accent equals white width equals 20 height equals 2 command equals self dot start quiz. All right. Then show this. All right. That is that. Then we need to actually define this restart quiz itself. And what do we do here? We self current, set the current question equal to 0. Set score equal to 0. For widget. Okay. Destroy all the stuff we just put in that window. Create widgets. Load question. All right, and that is it. All right, now we need to try running it. And of course, it does not run. Okay, so of course we have tried to run it. We have an error. It is a typing error. Right here, this is supposed to be text, not text. Not test. Text, not test. Right? And with that, then we have our game. Da da da. All right, so let's go through. What is the capital of France? We are going to say Paris. We are correct. All right, next question. What programming language is this quiz written in? We're going to say C++, which is incorrect. But did not work. All right, another error. We will be back. All right, we have figured out our bug. It was right here. We had left this as select answer, which is the function name, and that was causing us problems. All right, so it should be selected, not select, and when we run that, we are back. To, let's see, France is Paris. Next question, we can say this is JavaScript. See, we got it wrong. Next question, a CPU is a central processing unit. Next question, how many continents are there? I believe there are, well, let's say 5. There are more than 5, but. And when did Python 9 first appear? I'm going to say 91. Which of these is not a programming language? That is HTML. It's a markup language. What does GUI stand for? Graphical User Interface. Our quiz is complete. There we go. Except for we're not showing our buttons again. All right, we will be right back. All right, and we are back with our next error, which is right here because we can't spell. Put this to score. Right. And of course we need to restart. And we're just gonna see, score 1 wrong. Central processing unit. Score another 1 wrong. 91. Python. Oh, just not a programming language. Yep, got to read the questions. Graphical user interface. All right, there we are. We have done it. Let's see if we can play again. All right. And we have it fixed. The final code will be up on GitHub as normal. And as normal, let us know how you like this tutorial, what we can do to improve. And if you want to improve this, you could add different categories, add a timer, include images with the questions, add a high score system, or allow the player to choose the number of questions. These are some of the things you can do on your own. Let us know how it goes. And that is it. You now have a fully functional quiz game with score tracking. This is a fantastic project because it's fun to play. It shows you can build interactive applications with Python. You've learned how to manage game state, create multiple buttons dynamically, and give real-time feedback. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more beginner Python projects. And let us know in the comments what topic should we do next or in the future. Thanks and happy coding. We will see you next time.